A person asked an important question that I get the sense that they're already answering it for themselves, but I just want to bring it forward because it could be more universally of interest. The person asks, what is want versus desire? Can you simply want something without it being a desire? Or is all want desire? I feel as though desire is a pushing or pulling a needy energy towards something. Can you enter in relationship out of a simple want as opposed to desire? Can I get a chocolate milk from the store without it being desire? Can it just come from a simple want? And I think the answer to these questions is yes. It can just be a simple want, and we can move in ways we're inclined, where we have preferences. We might prefer chocolate milk over regular milk, or over coffee, or what have you. And we might be drawn to connection and being in relationship, and that's what human beings do. They tend to want to relate and be connected, and we don't have to categorize those things as desire. I think the way the person described this kind of push or pull that feels a kind of a needy energy towards something, that's how they're defining desire, and I would have to agree. Of course, people use these terms as differently as there are numbers of people, is how differently the terms can be used. But I have to tend to agree that I think of desire as coming from a sense of lack, and a presumed sense of self that's lacking, or a presumed sense of the moment that's lacking. And desire tends to move up and out, to seek things in the realm of objects to fill that presumed sense of lack, or fill that sense of need. And a want can sometimes look the same, but it doesn't necessarily uh, come from a sense of lack. Like, we can want things to go well. We can want to be healthier. We can want the best for someone. We can wish many things, and prefer many things that just deeply resonate and affirm well-being. But those wants don't necessarily feel like they're tied to some sense of vacuity, or lacking. And I think that egoic desires are kind of defined by the ego that is predicated on a sense of lack. Of course, there's desires for kind of, you could think of them as noble desires for the health and well-being of others or ourselves, as I mentioned, or for example, a desire to deepen, or a desire to feel more intimate with the truth of reality. And these are maybe what I might call noble desires, that may have some sense of lack kind of layered into them, but for the most part are a movement that is calling us, and is calling for our attention to turn our consciousness toward what is deeply dear to us, what is deeply resonant with our essential being. So there's something to be said that, this beautiful spirit of like giving and receiving during the holidays it's to some extent perhaps about the items that we might desire, but a lot of it's about that sense of expressing the heart in the mode of giving, and expressing the heart in the mode of receiving. And what I've noticed is often that openness of heart, the giving and the receiving, it starts to really blend. It's very fulfilling to give from our hearts. And it can sometimes be a gift to others when we genuinely receive what is offered to us because we give them a chance to express their giving hearts and when we fully receive something, we're really acknowledging the love that the other is expressing, and that person who gets to express that love is really feeling met. They're really feeling seen and received and understood their gestures of giving. So it's interesting how giving and receiving are such a pair, and they're so intertwined. They're two sides of a coin that both express an openness of heart and um, a quality of perceiving from a loving place on both sides of the equation.